Hi, it's John. This is a diorama I made some time ago, and I've learned a lot since then. I'll point out some of the things I wish I would have done different on this, but this is a fairly good sized diorama. It's about 35 inches from the tip of the tail to the tip of that wing, and it's probably close to 2 feet tall, maybe more. Anyway, these are a couple of vinyl kits made by Kaiju. They're both from the 1992 movie Godzilla vs. Mothra. The Godzilla here, I re-sculpted some parts. I changed the shape or the positioning of it. Originally it's a pretty static positioned Godzilla that is standing there with his hands just on pretty much the same level, his feet just straight out. I tipped the tail, I tilted the head up a little bit, tried to make it look like he's about ready to lunge off of that that cliff thing. And I also had to resculpt quite a bit of areas on the body, the texture of his knobbly skin, in order to do that. And this is Batra, which is one of the hardest kits I ever had to build. The legs are made out of resin, but the rest is vinyl, and I put plumber's putty inside the body and put wires in coming out from that to help stiffen the wings. I put cardboard inside the wings to help keep them together. Yeah, it was pretty difficult. But anyway, one of the things I would have done differently on this is I'd never make a square or rectangular base like this. I think it would have looked a lot better if the water would have had more of an organic look to it. I basically took a piece of oak and I built upon that. Used like some wire to help keep the Durham's water putty reinforced and in place. And this thing weighs a lot, pretty heavy. When I took it to G-Fest one time, I had to carry it in my arms all the way to where the models were kept, and it was like 3 blocks. I thought I was going to die. Anyway, show you some of the details of this. I have here a Japanese fishing boat. There's a guy in the water, you can see. They threw him a life raft, or not a life raft, but one of those life preservers. And there's a couple guys there showing concern for him. I basically just had a little island or rock sitting up here to use for a base for Batra. Maybe if I used an acrylic rod it would have worked a little better, but I want to make sure it's good and strong so it wouldn't break. On the base here I've got a little house with a resin lighthouse that I found, and there's the guy from the lighthouse jumping out. Actually, they look like there is a synchronized dive if you look closely. Godzilla is going to dive at the same time he is. I don't know how many points he'll get for how well synchronized they are. And the rocks are made primarily out of Durham's water putty that I cast, and I used some Woodland Scenics products for little rocks and things. I got some guardrail, made a road to come up, and there's a guy that was trying to get away, but looks like Godzilla really messed up the road, so he's gonna have to get airlifted out of there, I guess. But yeah, he's just kind of looking at the road and wondering how he's going to get home. And if you look real close here, there's a couple dogs that are pretty much right underneath Godzilla's feet. Of course, you know how dogs are. They'll just run right up to you and bark and bark, and you know how they are. So anyway, then here's the house, and I put a bunch of rubble in there. I actually wrote a story to go with this, and it was I wrote it like it's an account from a newspaper that would be talking about what happened here and explain how this whole situation occurred after the events of Godzilla vs. Mothra, when it appeared that Batra was dead and Mothra had left and everything. And what I had kind of put in my story is that Batra appeared and there's a rematch, basically. But anyway, if you wanted to read the whole thing, you could go to my DeviantArt page, and you could look at the deviation I put up of this particular thing, and in the description I have the whole newspaper article written out. And I got some pine trees that were just a type I bought, kind of already made, and stuck them in there. And what I have here is a wire that went up through his body all the way up, and so that I could have all of his weight is supported through that wire and going down into here all the way into the wood. Not really a wire, it's like a, well, it's the same kind of rod as like that actually. I stuck that through the Godzilla, and he is basically just supported by that rod. That way I could make it look like he's pretty much jumping and he's not actually touching the ground with his tail or his other foot. It's just one foot supporting him there. Only difficulty I really have with this model is I had trouble with this crack. It keeps reappearing, and I could probably fix that and repaint it, at least in that spot, do some more work on it, but I just don't know that it's worth it to me right now. See if I can get a good look at his face. No, I'm not having a little trouble focusing, I'm afraid. And there's another beautiful face. So anyway, that's my diorama. I called it Kaiju Confrontation Causes Continuous Chaos. So isn't that corny? Anyway, thanks for looking.